Hey, welcome back to Python MC. I'm your Python MC coach, Richard Ashe, and in this section we are going to look at conditionals. If, else, check in a condition. So what are conditionals? They are a way for Python to control the flow of a program, and it's going to be based on some sort of condition. Think of it like a choose-your-own-adventure story. When you choose one route, the story goes one way. When you choose and make another choice, the story goes another way. Like, are you going to go left, right, forward? These are all different conditions, and depending on the condition, depending on what happens, the program, the story will go a different way. Same thing in Python. So we're going to create a variable called magic number. We're going to assign it the string of the number 6. So a string means there's two quotes and it's captured. It's not going to be treated like a number. It's going to be treated like text, basically. And so we're going to go and put the variable guess and make that equal to input. Remember, input in the previous lessons means that we're getting input from a user. So that means that we are asking the user to type in some information. And we're going to save that to the variable name of guess. We're going to assign that to the variable name of guess, I should say. So here we go. Guess equals the input from the user, and we're going to have a prompt to say, guess the number between 1 and 10. Now, if, else. That's the building blocks of conditionals. First, if. If guess equals magic number. Now, why am I using two equal signs? It's because that is Python's way to test a condition. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not telling Python that guess equals magic number. I'm asking. And the way I ask is I use two equal sign. I'm saying, does it really, really equal? Instead of assigning it, I'm asking. I'm checking this value. I'm checking if guess is equal to magic number. And if it is, I'm just going to print in quotation marks, you guessed it. Okay, and then elif is another way for Python to say else if. Elif guess is less than magic number, then I'm going to say it's too low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Print too low. And then in other well else 1, 2, 3, 4. Print too high. So now what's happening here is that whatever Python sees after this block of code, that's everything that's indented is included in this little statement. This is a block of code. It's saying, okay, wait, so if guess is equal to magic number, then execute line 6. If that's not true, just skip line 6 and then check this condition. If magic number is less than guess is less than magic number, then execute line 9. And if all that is not true, execute line 12. A few things to watch out for. This is a colon. It's not a semicolon. Semicolon looks like that. A colon is 2 dots. And that 2 dots, it's the same in for loops, while loops, conditionals, and functions. That is a way for Python to say the next thing after this that's indented, that's all one thing. So this thing is grouped together. So if this is not true, it just skips that block altogether. So it's a block of code. It kind of looks like a frying pan or a pot. That's the handle, and everything in that pot is included in this little block of code, this little part of the code. All right, so let's run it and see what happens. All right, so it's going to give me a user prompt. It's going to give me a prompt to ask for my input. And I'm going to say 2, and it says too low. Oh, okay, well, let's try that again. I'm going to run the program again, and I'm going to say 8, and then it says it's too high, and then I'm going to run it again, and I'm going to say, well, 6 maybe, and then I guessed it, okay, because the magic number does equal 6. What does that look like when I visualize it? So what actually happens in memory? So I'm going to go first here. I'm going to go, you're going to see line number 1 is magic number equals 6. So it's going to assign 6 to magic number. And then it's going to create this guess variable down here. So you notice it first asks the user for input. I'm going to put in 2 again. And then assigns that the user input 2 to the variable guess. That's what happens in line number 3. And then it checks line number 5. It says, does it equal magic number? It doesn't. So what's going to happen is it's going to skip line 6. It's going to jump right to line 8. Because it says, well, okay, if that's not true, then I can just ignore this, because this is how conditionals work. It just says, well, let me check this condition. If it's not true, skip to the next one. If that's not true, it's going to skip to the next one. Okay, so it's going to skip right from 5 to 8. If guess is less than magic number, which it is, and because it is, it'll go to line 9 and it'll print too low. So you're down here, it goes to line 9 and then it prints out too low. What does that look like when I guess too high? So this case, I go step forward, and then you'll see I'm just stepping through my code, and down here it gives me a chance to put in user input, which I do, and it assigns that value 8 to guess, which doesn't equal magic number, so it's going to go check line 5 and say, well, that's not true, so I'm going to skip to line 8. Is it less than a magic number? Well, no, so I'll skip to line 11, and I'll go right to 12. So this is how it goes. If, elif, okay, and then it goes right to else, because it's not the same as magic number, and it's not too low, so it must be too high. And then finally, here we go with when I actually guess it right. It goes again. It creates the variable magic number, assigns it the value of 6. Then I got to guess 6 down here, which you're going to see now guess is equal to 6. It goes to line 5. Does guess equal the magic number? It does, so it goes right to line 6, and it says out on the screen, you guessed it. Pretty simple. So that's what we did with conditionals. Get into it, play around with it, and we'll see you again on Python MC.